Now, today, let's see the leaders who deceive the ra'iyat. Because we always bombard the ra'iyat. We always tell the ra'iyat you have to obey the leaders, right? How about someone who betrays his family, like a father? So what about a father, for example, who betrays his children? How he betrays them? He doesn't teach them the deen. That's a betrayal of a father to his sons and daughters and wife. A mother who all she cares about is social gathering and makan outside. But she's never there for the children. There are a lot of parents that they're doing this now. Instead of being there for the sons and daughters, especially when they're young, they need them. You know, your son still looks up to you as a mother. But mommy is always invited to go with her friends. Not even the husband is seeing her enough. This is one of the problems of today's era we are living in. A lot of people's social gatherings are more important than family. Isn't your family also social gathering? So, my friends, some people just run away actually. So please be careful. Here, a leader, political leader, people give him vote or make him, wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah, make him leader. They ask him to be their leader. Instead of working for them, he works against their own interest. Sounds familiar? Sounds familiar? Yes, most politicians are like this. You vote for them the moment, thank you. The moment, mashallah, they sit on that, you never see them again. So let's see what does Allah say about a leader who deceives his people and be unjust to them. He becomes unjust. Instead of doing justice, he becomes unjust, biased. Or he neglects his job. He's just occupying the office. But most of the time he is not there actually to be there. When the Ra'iyat want to see him, to tell him their problems, they become even once upon a time you are allowed by his secretary to see. By the way, do you know in Islam you should not have secretary? If you take public office, there shouldn't be anyone between you and people. Yeah. Do you know that or not? In Islam, the biggest mistake you do is when you appoint what we call hajib. Umar radiallahu anhu had no hajib. No one between him and people. Because usually it's the hajib. The problem is the hajib is not the leader. Your problem didn't even reach him. That's why a good leader will not have secretary. Secretary meaning not the one who types his letters. This is the normal. Like a person between, intermediate. Do you know what makes goods expensive? He is the middleman. So what makes problems continue is the middleman between you and politicians. So a real politician he is accessible.
Personal assistant.
Yes. Not like, no. I will do things. And I tell you what to do. No, you can be my personal assistant, but I tell you what to do. But you don't tell me what people are telling. You don't report to me what people. I hear people firsthand. Come, meet me at the masjid after Dhuhr. For example. Or after Asr, I'm in the masjid for 2-3 hours or 1 hour. Okay. And I take. Then I tell my PA what to do and follow him. PA shouldn't be between me and people. Should be between me and people direct. But I may delegate. This is very important to be a successful politician. If you want to be successful, this is what you need to do. So let's see what Allah said about those politicians who deceive their people. Sultan, Prime Minister, King, Minister, Deputy Minister. Look what Allah said about them. It's not joke, it's not joke, it's scary. Surah Ash-Shura, Surah 42, verse 42. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إنما السبيل على الذين يظلمون الناس ويبغون في الأرض بغير الحق أولئك لهم عذاب أليم. Allah says, the way of blame is only against those who oppress men and wrongly rebel in the earth. For such, there will be a painful torment. The context of the ayah is leaders. Surah Al-Shura is about what? About leadership. Leaders who, Allah says the way of blame will be on those leaders who oppress men and wrongly rebel in the earth. Like Fir'aun, he oppressed man and wrongly rebelled in the earth. Qarun, Haman, Quraysh, the leaders of Quraysh. Sometimes the leadership is individual, like a king or president. Sometimes it's collective, like military junta. The military, many generals share the power. Allah says, and they have a painful torment. وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. I told you the word عذاب or la'na or jahannam is for major sins. In Surah Al-Ma'idah, what did Allah say? Surah 5 verse 79. كانوا لا يتناهون عن منكر فعلوه لبئس ما كانوا يفعلون. Allah cursed a group of Bani Israel and turned them into monkeys and pigs. Do you remember the story? There is a group of Jews, after Musa alayhi salam came and taught them the Torah, he told them that Allah wants you to rest on the Sabbath. One of the tests given to Bani Israel is not to do anything on Sabbath, on Saturday. Like today, they do nothing. You don't even ignite fire. You do nothing. You want to fast, but you cannot even cook. That was a test to Bani Israel. These people used to live on a nice, beautiful port city. So they are tempted by the big fish. Some ulama said it was the tuna. The tuna appears on Saturday. And they want to catch it. They were fishermen. Whatever fish is, tuna or tun, it doesn't matter. Whatever fish. It appears and starts dancing in front of them is tempting. So what they did, look what they did. They throw the net on Friday and they collect it on Sunday. Sounds familiar? Some Muslims are doing these games with Allah. Allah is saying this and they say, no. We call it profit, not interest. You're playing games with God. You try to trick me. Trick somebody human, but don't trick Allah. So there are many of us that are playing games.
Loophole.
Huh?
They find loophole.
They try to outsmart Allah. Fish will stay another 24 hours in the sea happy. The fish is unhappy when you take it out of the water. You leave it there in a nest, still survives. But you caught it on Saturday. Yeah? Okay. So Allah says, He cursed them. Why? Because their leaders never told them what you're doing is wrong. And the so-called ulama never objected and said what you're doing is wrong. So everybody was cursed and turned into pig and head in the morning, head of pig and head of monkey. And this is why Darwin came up with the idea that our ancestors are monkeys. It's a psychological issue. You know when you have problem? When you smoke, you want everybody to smoke? You know that or not? Yeah. Why smokers are the best, the most generous? And they are generous with you only with cigarettes. Ask them for money, they will never give you. Somebody who smokes, he will get a cigarette, you want? Okay. And they even, then someone will count. Why? That's the guilt. When you are guilty of a problem, you want others to share it with you. But when you have something good, you don't want to share it. You know that or not? Yes, that's psychology. So, since their ulama didn't tell them, and their leaders, Allah cursed them. In another hadith, in another tafsir of this ayah, it's because of the following. In the morning, during the daytime, they see their leaders oppressing. And at night, the leaders invite them for dinner or social gatherings. And they go. Instead of telling them, I'm not coming because you have wrong so and so. This is a real alim. Real alim will tell a leader, sir, thank you for inviting me, but I'm not coming. And we say, why? Because you have wronged so and so. But going to him means, I agree with you. Why the wife of Lot alayhi salam was destroyed? Because she agreed with the homosexuals. Remember this, although she did not do homosexuality. But to her it was not an issue. Is this clear? Please understand this. So if you know somebody is sinning and you go have dinner with him or her at night or social gathering, you are as equal as that person. So Allah said, we have destroyed them because they were not, here it is, look at the ayah. They did not restrain one another from the debauchery they were indulging in. The wrong they were indulging in, no one told them it's wrong.
Yeah.
See why it's very important to have those whistleblowers in society? Because maybe Allah didn't bring a punishment yet, na'udhu billah, to this country, only because of those brothers and sisters who sometimes they make noise. They did not restrain one another from the debauchery they were indulging in. How awful it is what they had been doing. Look, Allah Himself is saying, how awful what you have been doing. You see people wronging the whole day, and then when they invite you, you go sit with them. You know somebody is corrupt, but when he invites you for, oh, I have to go because all the danceries, all the datoseries will be there. Allahu Akbar, serious. You know sometimes, sisters, especially the elderly, you know people quite well, and you know what they have done. But you go, still you go. No, serious. It is very wrong to be with the oppressors. Oppression, my dear sisters and brothers, Rasulullah says, is the darkness of the day of judgment. Yawm al-Qiyamah, there will be an area dark. That is the injustice. The oppression people did. And the oppressors will be in a very dark place. Na'udhu billah. Any ruler, Rasulullah says, who deceives his subjects will be in the fire. Amana, they voted for you, or they entrusted you with this position. They put you the Pungurusi of this area. They put you the leader of this area. And you are betraying them. Wallahi al-Azim, there are people who do that. That's their job. They are nice to you only until you put them in office. After that, yeah, two kinds of people shall not attain my intercession, Rasulullah says. Two types of Muslims will not get his intercession. They are Muslims, an oppressive, deceitful ruler, and the extravagant in religion, when there is evidence to prove that. What does it mean? What does it mean? Our subject is oppressive, deceitful ruler. We know, no matter what he asked the Prophet, O Messenger of Allah, please intercede for me. Allah will never. Rasulullah says, will not intercede for him. And the second one, the extravagant. Please do not be extravagant. In religion, meaning do not make it difficult on people. Extravagant in religion means, you know, when you try to sound scholarly and you just make the deen difficult for people. Doesn't mean you let people do whatever they want. But for example, there are two opinions. One is okay, one is not. For example, I give you an example. Traveling. There is 4 rak'ahs and there is 2 rak'ahs. Dhuhr. Somebody asks you, what should I do? Make it easy. Say Rasulullah himself did qada and he did the qasr and jama. 2. Don't tell him no. Do as I do, 4. Even if your madhab is to pray without qasr. Example. You sound like you are extravagant in religion. Extravagant in religion also is delaying, for example, iftar. Iftar is at 7:30 adhan. You iftar 7:45, just to show you are. Yo. Oh man, I can't tahan another 15 minutes. No. You want to do 20 rak'ahs, tarawih, and someone wants to do only 8. Fine. Don't make him feel bad. Only 8. What's wrong with you? Only 8? Yeah, he wants to do 8. You know what I mean? So you make it like you want to make Qiyamul Layl, the whole family needs to wake up. Qiyamul Layl is just between you and Allah. I may sprinkle some water on the face of Brother Lad if he wants to wake up. Alhamdulillah. If he doesn't wake up, his wife, mashallah, makes Qiyamul Layl and make dua for him to wake up next time. But like make noise, 3 a.m. Some people, when they wake up, the whole family needs to wake up. Fajr, yes, but not Dhuhr. Not Tahajjud. So 2 types of Muslims, be careful. May Allah save us. Rasulullah will not intercede for them. The first one is our subject, which is the deceitful leader. And moreover, he was oppressive. People thought he was good. Didn't I say in other classes that if you are the tailor of an oppressive leader, if you fix his clothes, you are considered as oppressive? Don't work for them, don't be their bodyguards, don't be their drivers, don't be nothing. But Sheikh, you are his driver, that deceitful leader. Resign.
But maybe they don't know that he's
No, if you know. If you come to know, that's it. You have to walk away. Yes. Do not help any oppressor. Please, brothers, sisters. And don't say, I had to. No, sorry. But you are the best tailor and he's sending to you. No. Sorry, I'm busy. You cannot obey someone who you know is wrong. Even if it's your father. Please understand this. Okay. You brothers, you're men, right? So a man should be man. I didn't say male. You are all males. But man means what? Gentleman. Can stand up in front of anyone and say something. What's her name? Asiya binti Muzahim. May Allah be pleased with her and join us with her in Jannah. Ameen. She was the wife of the craziest man on earth. Craziest man on earth is Fir'aun, who said, Ana rabbukum al-a'la. I'm not just your God, I am your highest God. She knew he's going to kill her. And he did. She still said, I disobey. I have nothing to do with you. And he killed her. It's Fir'aun who killed his wife, yes. Yeah, because how can you go against me? Because she came in that moment where she realized if she continues with this idiot, he will take her to hell. So she had to jump out of the ship, as we say, because the ship was going to sink. She went to paradise. She lost her life, but she didn't lose her eternal life. So sometimes we have to, so she is braver than us.
Yeah.
She is more man than, that's why I ask you if you are man. A real man say, okay, I didn't know, Ya Rab, now I know, astaghfirullah, please forgive me. I will not work for someone who is unjust.
Those who feel like that, they resign rather than continue.
Yeah.
But very few.
Yeah,
Yes.
very few, of course.
That's why very few people go to Jannah compared to those who go to hell. Yawm al-Qiyamah, when you see how many people will enter hell versus inshallah us who are going to Jannah, you are so thankful to Allah. Yes, the majority of people will go to hell. Please understand this. وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ. By time, Allah says, mankind is at loss, except إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَصَدَقُوا وَتَوَصَّوْا. You have to do 4 things to be among the exception. And we know always the exception is few. The exception is always few. Please understand that, my brothers and sisters. When you know someone is crook, you cannot be with him or around him because he has tuberculosis. He will get you the tuberculosis. He has a disease that is contagious. You have to quarantine yourself. Stay away. One way, I didn't know. Let's say I was working for you, I didn't know. But now I come to know. You are a person who oppresses the ra'yat. I should not work for you anymore. I find a way of saying, sorry, I cannot work. And the rest is on Allah. Remember this, my brothers and sisters. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq left millions in Mecca. When he went to Medina, Allah gave him millions. Allah, many of us think If Allah has written for you to die rich, you will die rich. Whether you work for this zalim or not. When Allah has written you be poor, you go to the... you work in the bank, still you get nothing. Please understand that. وَفِي السَّمَاءِ رِزْقُكُمْ. Yesterday I taught your children, وَفِي السَّمَاءِ رِزْقُكُمْ. In the sky is the rizq. The rizq is not even on earth. It's there with him. So he sends it to you when he wants. So two kinds of people should not attain the intercession of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam: the oppressive, deceitful ruler, and the extravagant Muslim in religion. The most severely punished person among people on the Day of Judgment is a tyrannical ruler. A tyrant ruler is the worst to be punished Yawm al-Qiyamah. You're going to see, look, you're going to see Namrud. You're going to see Fir'aun. You're going to see Haman. You're going to see Qarun. And you are going to see, tell me about them, the leaders of Quraysh, the 7 leaders of Quraysh. Out of 8, only 1 became Muslim, Abu Sufyan radiallahu anhu. You're going to see them the worst in punishment. Why? Because they were rulers. And definitely you're going to see some Muslims who betrayed their people. If a person who is appointed in authority over people, Rasulullah says, does not look after their interest, does not look after the people placed under his care, with goodwill and sincerity, he will not get even the aroma of paradise. By the way, aroma is an Arabic word. The aroma is an Arabic word. It's taken from English and French, taken from Arabic. The aroma. Aroma. Huh? So he will not even smell the fragrance of paradise. You know, usually you smell food from far from the kitchen. If, let's say, Sister Shamin is cooking something, from outside, say, oh, nice, what's that? Yeah? So you don't have to see the food. Allah says, no, they will not even smell paradise, let alone see paradise. Huh? Why? Because people were under his care. Umar ibn al-Khattab was very mindful of these verses. That's why he was a great leader. One day, you all know his story with the widow. She was making noise as if she's cooking. She had only a pot of water with stones and turning like this, pretending she's cooking. And whenever her children say, Ma, we are hungry, she said, okay, the soup is getting ready. Just so they sleep. Every night she does that. They sleep hungry. They get cry until they sleep. One night, he was passing by, he saw that. But she did not recognize him. It was dark. So he asked her, oh, sister, what are you doing here? She said, I am a widow. Their father died and left me these kids and we have nothing. And may Allah forgive Umar. He said, Umar, why? He said, because he's the leader, he's supposed to look after us. He said, wait for me here, sister. He went, he brought, subhanallah, almost 50 kilos of grounded wheat and honey and salmon, the
beef.
Ham of the camel.
Oh,
Fat.
Yeah.
So he said, please make food for your children. She said, thank you. You should be better. You are better than Umar. She did not recognize him. You are better than Umar. He said, tomorrow morning, come, let's meet Umar, you and I, at the masjid. She said, okay. In the morning, she's waiting for this man who she found, that's the man who talked to me. He cried and he said, sister, how much I pay you for this mistake that I oversighted. I didn't really pay attention to you and your children. She said, no, may Allah forgive you and forgive me. He said, no, sister. He gave her what ulama say, the salary of 1 year from his pocket, to free himself from the sin of neglecting one family. These leaders, this is why he was. You know when he died? When they were washing him, they found thread. From his eye to his beard, there is 2 lines, because he cried every night, out of fear of Allah.
In case
and he says, what did you do to yourself? He was talking to himself. what did you do to yourself, or Umar, when you accepted the caliphate? You should not have accepted. You should not have accepted. He was blaming himself. A man who never wronged anyone. He was still crying to Allah, maybe Yawm al-Qiyamah. You know, he will say, what? And he just, alhamdulillah, he found her. At least the caliph, or the leader, prime minister, he should be very on top of his ministers. He pressures them, they have to pressure their deputies, you know what I mean? So at least he has to do that. Plus, he should not disconnect himself from people. Pasamalam, rule number 1. He has to go pasamalam and buy. Even if he gives it later on. But I need to know how much is the cucumber. That's why they never understand why people are protesting. Because he doesn't even go to the buffet and put food. The food comes and 2, 3 already around him. He doesn't understand that people are suffering. He has no idea what does it mean. You got it? You take your car by yourself to fix it. He doesn't know that. He never saw a car broken. Because the secretary makes sure 3, 4, 5 cars are ready. May Allah give us hidayah. Just to show you where we are from the true Islam.